I follow a YouTube content creator who has recently been involved in a really terrible breakup. It ended so badly that one of them went to jail. Now, I'm not going to go into details. I'm not going to out this person, this particular content creator. Would I consider him a friend of mine? Probably not a friend, but an acquaintance. I have spoken with him. We have some in common, some things in common. He follows my channel. I follow his. So as I said, I've watched the whole thing happen in IRL. So here's what happened. He's an East Coast guy. He met a girl and absolutely fell in love. You know, it was that fairy tale type of thing. We all know what it's like, right? In that initial dating phase, he decided to pack up everything that he's known, to quit his job, to leave his friends and family, his support structure, and travel with her to the Midwest because she got a good job there. And he figured, well, I want to be with this woman, and what I do, I can probably find something similar to there, and that's what he did. Got himself a new job, made this huge commitment, right? So the two of them go across country and move in together, and ultimately it didn't work out and turned into a big fight, which turned into one of them going into jail, right? So here we are with it. I was watching this unfold because he brought her into his inner ring. He brought her into his YouTube channel, doing live streams, videos and such. And I'm saying this because everything that I'm talking to you guys about, he's made public. He's been very public in his channel with this, and so I don't feel like I'm defying or I'm betraying any confidences whatsoever, and I'm not. I wouldn't do that. So now, after everything's went south, he's stuck in a town with no support structure, no friends, probably in a place he doesn't want to be, a relationship that's gone completely bad, and a woman that's trying to continue to destroy him, right? So, to give you an idea where the situation is. Well, he's continuing to make videos now. He's making videos, you know, one video, you know, I can't stand her, and I'm so angry about this. The next video, oh, I want her back, you know, and maybe I should reconsider. He's just all over the board. And the problem I see here is that he's not on his purpose. And he doesn't have a purpose, or he's got the wrong purpose. The purpose that his purpose was this woman. Now, as a man, you should never make women or the chasing of women or the acquiring of women your purpose, because ultimately it will end in failure. Women, as a rule, will lose respect for you if you do this. I know it's duplicitous. I know it's complicated when they'll even tell you, I want you to do this. If you love me, you'd move in with me. If you love me, you would support me in my career. Well, they say that, but what they say and what they do sometimes doesn't jive. And ultimately, if you do that and you don't have a purpose and you make her your focus, she will discard you. She'll lose respect for you, and it's just not going to work. A man has got to be on his purpose and have a reason to go. And the reason why, in my opinion, this man is having such a hard time and struggling with this breakup is that very reason. You made a woman your purpose, and that has gone now, and now you have no purpose in your life, and you're floundering. You're away from your support structure, you're away from your family, you're away from your friends, you're away from all the things that were familiar to you. You're in a strange place, and you're floundering because you don't have any focus. This is very, very dangerous and very, very important. Mrs. W and I have a very unique relationship in that it's very traditional and not maybe the norm or the common thing, the common relationship that you would see in today's culture. It's been said that politics are downstream of culture, but biology is upstream of culture. What that means is you can't change biology. There's the way things are, the way things have always been, and trying to change that in the last 40, 50 years of the Cultural Revolution is not going to work. It's like trying to run a diesel with gas or vice versa. It might start, it might go forward a little bit on the momentum of the fuel remaining in the fuel lines, but ultimately it will conk out because you've put the wrong fuel in it. A man needs to be on his purpose. When he's not on his purpose and makes a woman his purpose, he's putting the wrong fuel in the tank. Me personally, I guess what's going to come up is, well, who are you to be telling us what to do with relationships? I'm not. I'm telling you what I see, and I'm telling you what works. I have been with Mrs. W and married for close to coming up on 20 years now. The good book says you will know them by their fruit. What is fruit? What does that mean? It means, how is your life? You've made decisions, and how are your children, and how are things in your life? Is it falling apart? Are you thriving? Are you prospering? So for me, if I see someone doing well in construction and I'm in the trades, I'll go to him. I want to ask him. I don't want to talk to a guy that's failed and in bankruptcy. That's the point I want to make here. What works really well, why it works so well for Mrs. W is that I have clearly defined our roles as the head of my house, what I'm responsible for, and as the mistress of the house, what she's responsible for. I'm going to steal something from Kevin Samuels, and because we've applied it, and if you ask Mrs. W, she'll tell you, because I say it to her daily. There are 3 things that I want from you. There's 3 things that I want from a wife: sex, sandwich, and silence. Oh my! I could just hear the hand ringing, right? Pearl clutching. What type of a sex? Hear me out. Hear me out. Guys are simple, right? I have had to tell Mrs. W and remind her, as well as my sister and my mom and other females that are in my life, I am not your girlfriend. I am not your therapist, and I'm not your sounding board. I don't care about your female dramas. Those are not concerns of mine. Those, if you have things you need to work out with your friends, or anxieties or fears or worries, that's not the role for the boyfriend and not for the husband. And those, if you are a husband and you get wrapped into that, that is a continuous loop that you will never get out of. You need to be very clear and define, if you have problems, go talk to your friends. Don't talk to me. Keep me fed. Don't overcomplicate my life with drama, and take care of me physically and maintain your attractiveness, and keep that part of it alive too, because that's the triangle that makes the perfect, that keeps everything working, right? Those 3 things. So what I would, if I was a young man, and if I was, the advice that I gave my son, and what I would give to you if you're young, and you're looking and you're spending an inordinate amount of time chasing women, chasing tail, you might be off your purpose. You might be off your focus. What I have found to be true is that if you figure out what you want to do, trade school, welding, medical school, building a house, getting your own homestead in the middle of nowhere, and you make that your number 1 goal, think of what you could accomplish. Think of the time, and I'm speaking to myself here as well. Think of the time wasted, a decade wasted in bars, chasing women, texting, and all for what? Rarely does it ever work out. Just a continuous loop of just picking the same sort of broken and damaged women, not being on your purpose, not having a goal, making them your goal. What has that got you so far? What has it got you? For me, it was a massive waste of time that really hindered me, hobbled me from success in the future. The advice I would give myself and to young guys, knowing what I know now, is get on your purpose, get on your goal, and the women will come. You won't need to chase. You won't need to go to bars. You won't need to be on the dating apps. A man on his purpose, a man going someplace, doing something with a clear defined goal, is very attractive to high quality people and to high quality women. Not only will you attract higher quality women that could potentially be a mate and a wife if you choose so, but you're also going to attract higher quality friends as well. Then you're going to be in a position where you can retire a little bit early, where you can have a nicer life, where you can have a better quality and standard of living because you didn't waste your time with broken and damaged females trying to be a girlfriend, trying whatever you're trying to do that's never going to work. You're going to eventually have to get here anyway. If I could have got there at 18 instead of 30, 20 years, I would have had a 20-year head start. Just think what could have been accomplished. Just think what I could have done. I don't know. It's a dangerous way to look at things, because if I were given a choice, and I'll close with this, like a legitimate choice. Let's say someone said, I'll give you the choice to go back with what you know and relive the last 25, 30 years versus with uncertainty, right? There's no guarantees. Versus where you're at now with your current family, what would you choose? And I can say right now, the decision would be easy for me. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't make that choice, because I don't know, knowing what I do now, the grass being greener on the other side, that's a powerful motivation. And would you try to go too far? Would you grasp too much and end up losing and missing out on everything? So the risk would be too high for me, but I can give you I can give you the advice if you're not there yet. Make a goal. Write it down. Write it down, put it in a card. Choose one thing, the thing that's most important to you. House, homestead, family, career, job, whatever that may be. Write it down and look at it every day. Look at it every day and remind yourself why you're getting up. Remind yourself why you're putting in 12, 14 hours a day. And what I find with that, by doing that, and I'm not saying that there's any crazy magic or any weird, spirit. I'm not talking spiritual side of this. There very well could be that I don't understand. But what it seems to do is every decision you make, whether it's micro or macro, big or small, they tend to be made with the goal in mind. And so everything you're thinking and you're doing and the decisions that you're making are working towards making that happen. There is no future in chasing after these modern women. There's no future in it whatsoever. You might have a little thrill, there might be a little bit of rush and some excitement. I get it, I understand these things, but that is a fleeting thing it is building a castle on sand that will ultimately fall. I understand the passion. I understand what it's like to meet someone for the first time and sitting across from the table with that first time holding hands and the intimacy. I understand that. It's incredible. There's nothing like it. But I think where people fall down is they believe that that if they don't have that, if that's not in their life 24/7, then something's wrong. And so they drop someone and they are constantly changing it and constantly chasing and chasing and chasing something that is, it's like trying to grasp the wind, to quote King Solomon. It's something that will never happen, and it's an impossible thing to find. Imagine trying to live in that environment and trying to, that passion, that spark is the thing that ignites the relationship, that gets the explosion that starts the whole marriage of the relationship, gets it going and a good push to get out in front of everything. But then you settle into the hard work. And the hard work, now that woman that you chose, her character, her work ethic, her integrity, her honesty, how she was raised, her relationship with her parents, all these things become a huge factor when the hard work, when the heavy pulling starts setting in, when you start trying to build a life together. It's sad to see guys that are on their own, knowing what I know now, especially I've tried to run businesses and I've tried to do things by myself in the past, and I've had marginal success, but there was always I never could get over that hump. And what I found is that partnership you get with a good woman, you've got to get a good one though. Easier said than done. It's what makes the difference. It's what makes the difference when you have two people shoulder to shoulder, in yoke, in harness together, pulling in the same direction. It's incredible what you can accomplish when you're on the same page. For me to be able to go out and to work and to make content and to do the heavy lifting and everything, and knowing that Mrs. W has got the back end and making sure that the bills are paid and the insurance is up on that, it takes off so much responsibility from me. And me doing the heavy work and making sure that her car has good tires and the oil's changed and taking care of that makes her life easier and more enjoyable, because she knows that her man is going to take care of it and she will always have these things that she needs. That delineation, that delegation of jobs, I think is really, really important. We don't look at our marriage as a partnership. We don't share tasks. I'm not doing dishes. I'm not doing laundry. I'm not vacuuming. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm taking care of the house. I'm bringing the money in to pay for the house. I'm making sure that the cars have snow tires. I'm making sure that the oil's changed, the cars are clean. The way we divide it is the house is hers, she takes care of it, and everything outside of that is mine, including the responsibility to make sure that roof stays over her house. And don't be so, as a woman, I mean, I can't speak to women, I'm not one. all I can speak to. Well, that's about all I have to say about that.